Welcome back to our channel #PR. Today, we're diving deep into a fascinating topic: how your thoughts shape your future. It's a topic that has fascinated theologians and philosophers for centuries. This sense that we can impose order on chaos through the action of our minds. That we can, in some real sense, conjure up the world we inhabit through the force of our spirits. Did you know that your thoughts have a direct impact on the life you create? Well, let's explore that together. Now, when we talk about thoughts shaping reality, we're not suggesting some kind of magical thinking where you just wish for something and it appears. No, it's much more profound and grounded than that. Every single thought you entertain, every idea that flits across the landscape of your mind, it carries with it a certain valence, a kind of emotional charge. And that charge, my friends, that's what has the power to influence your actions, your decisions, and ultimately, the outcomes you experience in your life. Think about it. A positive thought, a thought imbued with hope or optimism, it's like a spark that ignites a fire within you. It propels you forward, fuels your motivation, and opens you up to new possibilities. Positive thoughts, they don't just feel good, they lead to positive actions. On the other hand, negative thoughts, those insidious whispers of doubt, fear, and limitation, they act like chains, binding you to the familiar, the safe, but ultimately, the unfulfilling. They hold you back from pursuing your dreams, from taking risks, from becoming the best version of yourself. And the insidious thing about negative thoughts is that they often disguise themselves as something else. They masquerade as pragmatism, as realism, as the voice of reason. But don't be fooled. Remember, the stories you tell yourself, the narratives you weave in the privacy of your own mind, they have a profound impact on how you show up in the world. If you constantly tell yourself you're not good enough, not smart enough, not worthy enough, well, guess what? You're going to act accordingly. You're going to sabotage your own efforts, limit your own potential, and ultimately create a self-fulfilling prophecy of failure. Hit that like button if you're ready to take control of your thoughts and start creating the future you deserve. Have you ever noticed how certain patterns keep repeating in your life? The same mistakes, the same relationships, the same cycles of success and failure? It's like we're stuck in a groove, a rut of our own making. And you know what? In many ways we are. See, our thoughts, particularly those that we habitually think, they create neural pathways in our brains. These pathways, they're like the well-worn paths in a forest. The more we tread upon them, the deeper they become, the easier it is to fall back into them. And so, we find ourselves thinking the same thoughts, making the same choices, and living out the same patterns over and over again. Now, this can be a good thing if the patterns we've established are serving us well. If our habitual thoughts are positive, constructive, and aligned with our goals, then those well-worn neural pathways will lead us towards success, fulfillment, and well-being. But what if those patterns are no longer serving us? What if those habitual thoughts are negative, limiting, and keeping us stuck in a cycle of mediocrity or even suffering? Well, that's where the real work begins. Because breaking free from those old patterns, it requires us to consciously choose new thoughts. It requires us to challenge our assumptions, to question our beliefs, and to rewire those neural pathways in our brains. It's not easy, mind you. Our brains, they're wired for efficiency. They love those well-worn paths, those familiar patterns of thought. But with effort, with persistence, and with a willingness to confront those uncomfortable truths about ourselves, we can break free from those limiting beliefs and start creating new, more empowering patterns in our lives. Share this video with someone who needs a mindset shift. Let's help each other break free from those old patterns and step into our full potential. One of the most difficult but essential truths about personal growth is this: to change your future, to truly become the architect of your own destiny, you have to be willing to become someone else. Not someone entirely different, mind you, but a more expansive, more capable, more evolved version of the person you are today. This idea, it can be daunting, even terrifying for some. It requires us to confront those aspects of ourselves that we'd rather keep hidden, those shadows within that we try to ignore. It asks us to step outside of our comfort zones, to embrace discomfort as a catalyst for growth, and to be willing to let go of who we are in order to become who we might be. But you see, transformation, it's not about becoming someone you're not. It's about shedding those layers of conditioning, those limiting beliefs, and those defense mechanisms that no longer serve you. It's about peeling back the layers of the onion, so to speak, to reveal the authentic, radiant self that lies within. And that process, it requires courage. It requires a willingness to confront those parts of ourselves that we'd rather keep hidden, to acknowledge our flaws and imperfections, and to embrace the messy, imperfect journey of becoming. Subscribe to our channel for more inspiring content. Join us as we explore the depths of human potential and discover the transformative power within each and every one of us. Now, let's delve into the fascinating world of neuroscience for a moment, because understanding how our brains work can provide incredible insights into the power of our thoughts. You see, our brains, they're not static, unchanging organs. They're incredibly dynamic, constantly adapting and rewiring themselves based on our thoughts, our experiences, and the environments we inhabit. This phenomenon, it's called neuroplasticity, and it's one of the most remarkable discoveries in modern science. It means that our brains are not fixed entities determined by our genes. They're malleable, capable of change and growth throughout our entire lives. And here's the kicker, our thoughts, they play a central role in this process of neuroplasticity. Every time we think a thought, every time we engage in an activity, every time we have an experience, we're literally shaping the physical structure of our brains. Neural pathways, those connections between neurons that allow information to flow through our brains, they strengthen with repetition. The more we think a particular thought, the more we engage in a particular behavior, the stronger those neural pathways become, making it easier and more likely that we'll think or act in that same way again in the future. Hit that notification bell so you never miss our thought-provoking videos. We're going to explore how to harness the power of neuroplasticity to create lasting positive change in your life. Now, if our brains are constantly rewiring themselves based on our experiences, then it stands to reason that one of the most powerful ways to shape our thoughts, and by extension, our future, is through the process of learning. Learning, you see, it's not just about acquiring knowledge or skills. It's about expanding our minds, challenging our assumptions, and creating new neural pathways that allow us to see the world in new and exciting ways. Cultivating a growth mindset, that's essential. A growth mindset, it's the belief that our abilities, our intelligence, our talents, they're not fixed traits, but rather qualities that we can develop through effort, persistence, and a willingness to embrace challenges. Read books that challenge your perspectives, that push you outside of your intellectual comfort zones. Watch documentaries that expose you to new ideas, new cultures, new ways of seeing the world. Listen to podcasts that make you think critically, that question the status quo, that inspire you to become a more informed, more engaged citizen of the world. Comment below with your favorite book or podcast recommendation. Let's create a community of lifelong learners, all striving to expand our minds and shape our futures. In the natural world, evolution, it's driven by the need to adapt to changing environments. Species that can't adapt, that cling to outdated behaviors or beliefs, they're the ones that ultimately fade away. And you know what? The same principle applies to us, to our thoughts, to our beliefs, to our ways of being in the world. If we want to thrive, if we want to create a future filled with meaning, purpose, and fulfillment, we must be willing to evolve. We must be willing to let go of those thoughts, those beliefs, those behaviors that no longer serve us, that no longer align with the vision we have for ourselves and for the world we want to create. This doesn't mean abandoning our values, our principles, or the things that truly matter to us. It means being open to new information, new perspectives, new ways of seeing things. It means challenging our assumptions, questioning our beliefs, and being willing to change our minds when presented with compelling evidence. Connect with us on social media. We love hearing from our community. Share your thoughts, your insights, your own personal journeys of evolution and growth. Now, we've talked a lot about the power of thought, about how our thoughts shape our brains, our actions, and ultimately, our futures. But it's important to remember that our minds, they don't exist in isolation. They're intimately connected to our bodies, and the two influence each other in profound and often surprising ways. The thoughts we think, the emotions we feel, they have a very real impact on our physical health, our energy levels, and our overall well-being. Chronic stress, negative thinking, and unresolved emotional issues, they can manifest in our bodies as physical ailments, from headaches and digestive problems to more serious conditions like heart disease and autoimmune disorders. So, if we want to create a positive future, a future where we're not only mentally and emotionally thriving, but also physically healthy and vibrant, we need to pay attention to the thoughts we're feeding our minds and, by extension, our bodies. Practice mindfulness. Become aware of the thoughts that are swirling around in your head and notice how they make you feel in your body. Are they thoughts that uplift you, that energize you, that fill you with a sense of peace and well-being? Or are they thoughts that drain you, that stress you out, that leave you feeling anxious, depleted, and unwell? Let's spread positivity. Share this video far and wide. Help us create a ripple effect of positive change. One thought, one action, one person at a time. Thanks for watching PR. Remember, your thoughts are the seeds of your future. Nurture them wisely. Choose thoughts that empower you, that inspire you, that move you closer to the life you want to create. If you found this video valuable, hit that subscribe button and join our growing community. Let's support each other on this journey of personal growth and transformation. And as always, stay positive, stay curious, and keep shaping your incredible future.